Good day everyone, my name is Noriko Diriha, the assigned reporter for the chapter 1 and 2, which is the introduction and earth-moving materials and operation of this book. So, the introduction of the construction industry. The construction industry, including design, new and renovation construction, and the manufacture and supply of building materials and equipment, is one of the largest industries in the United States, historically accounting for about 10% of the nation's gross national product and employing some 10 million workers. Annual United States new construction volume has exceeded $800 billion in recent years. Because construction is an exciting, dynamic process which often provides high income for workers and contractors. It is an appealing career opportunity. However, the seasonal and sporadic nature of construction work often serves to significantly reduce the annual income of many workers. In addition, construction contracting is a very competitive business with a high rate of bankruptcy. It is widely recognized that construction as a discipline is a combination of art and science. While understanding the technical aspects of construction is extremely important, it is also essential that construction professionals have knowledge of the business and management aspects of the profession. Close observation and participation in actual construction project is very valuable in obtaining an understanding of the construction process as well. Thus, the author encourages those who are studying construction in an academic environment to take every opportunity to observe and participate in actual construction activities. An understanding of the topics presented in the following chapters will provide a foundation in the methods and management of construction. While construction has traditionally been a very conservative industry, the increasing rate of technological development and growing international competition in the industry are serving to accelerate the development of new construction methods, equipment, materials, and management techniques. As a result, coming years will see an increasing need for innovative and professionally competent construction professionals. Construction contractors. Companies and individuals engaged in the business of construction are commonly referred to as construction contractors or simply contractors because they operate under a contract arrangement with the owner. Construction contractors may be classified as general contractors, or you can also call it as specialty contractors. General contractors engage in a wide range of construction activities and execute most major construction projects. When they enter into a contract with an owner to provide complete construction services, they are called prime contractors. Specialty contractors limit their activities to one or more construction specialties, such as electrical work, plumbing, heating, and ventilating, or earth moving. Specialty contractors are often employed by a prime contractor to accomplish some specific piece of a construction project. Since the specialty contractors are operating under subcontracts between themselves and the prime contractor, the specialty contractors are referred to as subcontractors. Thus, the terms subcontractor and prime contractor are defined by the contract arrangement involved, not by the work classification of the contractors themselves. Thus, a specialty contractor employed by an owner to carry out a particular project might employ a general contractor to execute some piece of the project. In this situation, the specialty contractor becomes the prime contractor for the project and the general contractor becomes a subcontractor. While the number of construction contractors in the United States has been estimated to exceed 800,000, some 60% of these firms employ 3 or fewer workers. Contractors employing 100 or more workers make up less than 1% of the nation's construction firms but account for about 30% of the volume of work performed. The trend in recent years has been for the large construction firms to capture an increasing share of the total United States construction market. Moving on, construction industry divisions. The major divisions of the construction industry consist of building construction, also called vertical construction, and heavy construction, also called horizontal construction. The distribution of total United States construction volume for a representative year is illustrated in Figure 1 to 2. Building construction, Figure 1 to 3, as the name implies, involves the construction of buildings. This category may be subdivided into public and private, residential and non-residential building construction. While building construction accounts for a majority of the total U.S. new construction market, see Figure 1-2, many of the largest and most spectacular projects fall in the heavy construction area. Heavy construction, Figure 1-4. This includes highways, airports, railroads, bridges, canals, harbors, dams, and other major public works. Other specialty divisions of the construction industry sometimes used include industrial construction, process plant construction, marine construction, and utility construction. So here are the important things to remember for the construction process. The project development and contract procedures. The major steps in the construction contracting process include bid solicitation, bid preparation, bid submission, contract award, and contracts administration. This part or activity will be soon discussed by my fellow reporter who is assigned with Chapter 18. So, however, before the bidding process can take place, the owner must determine the requirements for the project and have the necessary plans, specifications, and other documents prepared. These activities make up the project development phase of construction. For major projects, these are the steps in the project development process include recognizing the need for the project. So it is very important to recognize the need for the project because it could be identified as a result of a problem or an opportunity for you or for your team to improve. The overall goal of the project will always be to improve or take advantage of a particular situation. After the initial need identification, you will have to gather data. Next is determining the technical and financial feasibility of the project. So it's important to determine the technical because it helps organizing or determine whether the technical resources meet capacity and whether the technical team is capable of converting the ideas into working systems. It is also important to always include the financial feasibility because it describes whether or not your project is financially or physically viable. A financial feasibility report includes a cost-benefit analysis of the project. It also forecasts an expected return on investment as well as outline any financial risk. Procedure to be remembered is the preparing detailed plans, specifications, and cost estimate for the project, and obtaining approval from regulatory agencies. This involves ascertaining compliance with zoning regulations, building codes, and environmental and other regulations. For small projects, many of these steps may be accomplished on a very informal basis. However, for larger complex projects, this process may require years to complete. How construction is accomplished. The principal methods by which facilities are constructed are illustrated in Figure 1-5 to 1-9. These include construction employing an owner construction force, owner management of construction by a general contractor. So moving on, so this picture or the pie chart shows the distribution of United States new construction volume. This is the figure 1-4 that I had discussed earlier. The heavy construction project, Kennedy Space Center Launch Complex, United States Air Force many large industrial organizations as well as number of governmental agencies possess their own construction forces, although these forces are utilized primarily for performing repair, maintenance, and alteration work. They are often capable of undertaking new construction projects. More frequently, owners utilize their construction staffs to manage their new construction. The work may be carried out by workers hired directly by the owner, first account, by specialty contractors, or by a combination of these two methods. Construction by a general contractor operating under a prime contract is probably the most common method of having a facility constructed. However, two newer methods of obtaining construction services are finding increasing use: design, build, or construction and construction utilizing a construction management contract under the design, build, or turnkey construction concepts. An owner contracts with a firm to both design and build a facility meeting the certain specified, usually performance-oriented requirements. Such contracts are frequently utilized by construction firms that specialize in a particular type of construction and possess standard design which they modify to suit the owner's needs. The same organization is both designing and building the facility. Coordination problems are minimized and construction can begin before completion of final design. Under conventional construction procedure, it is also possible to begin construction before design has been completed. In this case, the construction contract is normally on a cost reimbursement basis. This type of construction is referred to as fast track. Another diagram. So the major disadvantage of the design build concept are the difficulty of obtaining competition between suppliers and the complexity of evaluating their proposals. Construction of a facility utilizing a construction management contract is also somewhat different from the conventional construction procedure. Under the usual arrangement, also known as agency construction management, a professional construction manager acts as the owner's agent to direct both the design and construction of a facility. 3 separate contracts are awarded by the owner for design, construction, and construction management of the project. This arrangement offers potential savings in both time and cost compared to conventional procedures as a result of the close coordination between design and construction. However, opponents of the method point out that the construction manager typically assumes little or no financial responsibility for the project and that the cost of his/her services may outweigh any savings resulting from improved coordination. Here is another diagram. Construction utilizing a construction management contract. Between design and construction, there is another less common form of construction management contract known as guaranteed maximum price construction management. Under this arrangement, the construction manager guarantees that the project costs will not exceed a specified amount. Under this procedure, which entails a certain amount of contractor risk, the construction contract is also normally held by the construction manager. This is the codes and regulations that the project constructed in most areas of the United States must comply with a number of governmental regulations. These include building codes, zoning regulations, environmental regulations, and contractor licensing laws, among others. Building codes. Building codes, which are concerned primarily with public safety, provide minimum design and construction standards for structural and fire safety. As the name implies, such codes apply only to the construction of buildings. In the United States, the Board of Fire Underwriters in 1905 published a recommended National Building Code which provided minimum standards for fire protection and structural safety. Code, later known as the Basic National Building Code, published by the Building Officials and Code Administrators International, was the only nationally recognized building code for a number of years. Other major building codes later published include the Uniform Building Code, published by International Conference of Building Officials, and the Standard Building Code, published by the Southern Building Code Congress International. In 1994, these three model code groups jointly formed the International Code Council to publish a single set of model construction codes. Some of the international codes since published include the International Building Code and the International Residential Code, which governs the construction of one and two family dwellings. Zoning, environmental, and other regulations. Although building codes apply only to building construction, many other regulations impact both building and heavy construction. Such regulations include zoning regulation, environmental regulations, safety regulations, labor laws, and others. Transportation construction includes highways, bridges, airports, and ports, falls primarily under the jurisdiction of state transportation departments. These agencies are responsible for the design, construction, maintenance, and operation of transportation facilities. While much of the design and most construction is accomplished by private firms under contract to the state transportation agency establishes design specifications, monitors design and construction, and operates and maintains the completed facilities. Regulations, which control land use, limit the size, type, and density of structures that may be erected at a particular location. Some typical zoning classifications include commercial, residential with specified density, industrial, office, recreational, and agricultural. Zoning classifications are normally designated by a combination of letters and numbers. As an example, the R4 zoning classification might represent residential housing with a maximum density of 4 units per acre. In order to construct a facility not conforming to the current zoning, it will be necessary to obtain a change in zoning or an administrative exception. Environmental regulation protect the public environment by controlling such factors as water usage, vehicular traffic, precipitation runoff, waste disposal, and preservation of beaches and wetlands. Projects such as new highways and airports, facilities, major shopping centers, large industrial plants, large housing developments, and athletic centers may require preparation and approval of an environmental impact statement and quantifying the effect the project will have on the environment. The preparation of an EIS is a complex, time-consuming task undertaken only with the assistance of a professional experience in such matters. If municipal utility services are not available at the project site, additional permits may be required for water treatment plants, wells, sewage treatment, and similar facilities. Safety regulations are designed to protect both construction workers and the public. In the United States, almost all industries, including constructions, are governed by the Occupational Safety and Health Acts of 1970, administered by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. The construction profession is also regulated by a number of governmental licensing and certification procedures. Industry or construction productivity, U.S. construction productivity, output per labor hour, which had shown an average annual increase of about 2% during the period after World War II until the mid-1960s, actually declined between 1965 and 1980. During the same period, inflation in construction costs rose even faster than inflation in the rest of the economy. However, indications are that construction productivity again increased substantially in the 1980s and 1990s. So, moving on, reducing construction costs. Some of the best opportunities for construction cost savings occur in the design process, even before construction begins. Some design factors that can reduce construction costs include the use of modular dimensions, grouping plumbing and other equipment to minimize piping and fluid runs, incorporating prefabricated components and assemblies, utilizing economical materials, eliminating gold plating, and employing new technology, injecting constructability consideration into the design process is one of the advantages claimed for the use of the construction management contract arrangement. There are some ways in which productivity can be increased and costs minimized during construction include good work planning. Work planning is a very important part of construction because it helps the team to work together to set goals. It allows everyone to be on the same page, working toward a common shared purpose. Workers are better able to recognize ways to work to achieve goals as well as behaviors to avoid that could prevent the company from reaching its objectives. Is carefully selecting and training workers and managers. It is important to select carefully or train workers and managers to avoid conflict or para ma-avoid ang mga problems sa future regarding sa inyo ang project. It is very important kay it educates employees about new skills or provide updates on existing skills to enhance productivity. Next is efficiently scheduling labor, materials, and equipment. So important to efficiently schedule labor, materials, and equipments because good scheduling can eliminate problems due to production bottlenecks, facilitate the timely procurement of necessary materials, and otherwise ensure the completion of a project as soon as possible. Poor scheduling can result in considerable waste as laborers and equipment wait for the availability of needed resources or the completion of preceding tasks. Next is properly organizing work. It's important to be organized, just like what I have said earlier about the efficiency of scheduling labor, materials, and equipment. It is very important to be organized because it increases your productivity. By keeping organized, you will save time looking for things and will have more time to work on important tasks. As organization can improve the flow of communication between you and your team, you can also make your team more productive. Is using labor-saving techniques such as prefabrication and pre-assembly. Designers and developers choose to incorporate pre-assembly and prefabrication processes into their building project rather than using a more conventional approach. With prefabrication and pre-assembly, an integrated design build firm and its construction team will set up a particular commercial space to prefabricate processes. These include examples like pre-poured slabs, pre-assembled modular wall and frame pieces, as well as other products. These pieces are created off-site. The integrated design build firm will truck the assorted products to its build sites. In which productivity can be increased is minimizing rework through timely quality control. Like just the things I have said earlier about the properly organizing work or efficiently scheduling labor, materials, and equipments. And I guess that explains the minimizing your work through timely quality control. So next is, or the last one is the preventing accidents through good safety procedures. This is very obvious. A well-designed accident prevention program will reduce employee injury, illness, and death rates, improve employee performance, strengthen workforce morale and motivation, and lower absentee rates. Management elements of construction management. The term construction management may be confusing since it has several meanings. As explained earlier, it may refer to the contractual arrangement under which a firm supplies construction management services to an owner. However, in its more common use, it refers to the act of managing the construction process. The construction manager, who may be a contractor, project manager, superintendent or one of their representatives manages the basic resources of construction. Costs include workers and subcontractors, equipment and construction plant, material, money, income, expenditure, and cash flow, and time. Skillful construction management results in project completion on time and within budget. Poor construction management practices, on the other hand, often result in one or more of the following: project delays that increase labor and equipment costs and cost of borrowed funds, high material costs caused by poor purchasing procedures, inefficient handling, and or a loss, increased subcontractor costs and poor contractor subcontractor relations, and high insurance costs resulting from materials and equipment loss or damage, or a poor safety record, and low profit margin or a loss of